the joy and also the sorrow. But Yehuda, I have a question for you. What about this lamb? Why? What was this whole thing about? Well, you eat the lamb, and it's my understanding that all the way back at the time of Passover in Exodus, he said that you're to have a lamb, and then it's my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, that even at the Passover at the time of the temple, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of these lambs were being sacrificed. For you, tell me about the lamb and eating that at the table. What does that mean, Papa? I'm your son. Papa, what does it mean about this lamb? Why can't we have a hamburger? Why do we eat the lamb?
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful question. That question was first asked by every single Jewish child in Egypt when Moses told them to take the lamb. And I want to remind you, the Bible teaches us that the lamb in Egypt was referred to as a deity, was referred to as a godly thing. The people of Israel, in order to express their freedom, had to take the lamb and tie it to their room, to their bed for a few days. And every Egyptian would pass by the street to the guys, what are you doing with that lamb? And these guys said, well, I want to tell you what we're doing. We're celebrating our freedom. We're celebrating ours, announcing that there's no other God but the one and only God. And then they take the blood and they mark it on the doors to mention that here we are, taking upon ourselves the freedom to worship God. Because the Bible teaches us, let my people go and worship me. That is what Moses was telling Pharaoh. Let my people go and worship me. So the concept of taking that lamb in one big piece and celebrating. To this very day, people celebrate Thanksgiving with a barbecue. So the very first barbecue was in Egypt, when God wanted us to express our freedom by taking the deity of Egypt and saying that all the other deities, including the Nile, was also was referred to as a theological concept. The Nile, the lamb, and we were all saying no. We're only worshiping one and only God, and that celebration of eating meat, drinking wine, and remembering the fact that we in ourselves expressed our freedom. We expressed the fact that we are no longer enslaved to those who were putting us in enslavement. That is the concept of eating and experiencing the exception of God as the one and only God of the entire world. We know that very often in the prophets compare Israel to a lamb and the Egypt to a donkey, where the donkey in Hebrew comes from the word materialism, and the lamb is sort of an animal that is more, in a way, more spirituality, more quiet and calm animal. And so we are actually taking the fact that Israel is symbolized by a lamb. The people of Israel are symbolized by a lamb. God says to them, you are my people, you are my lamb. And Moses, who was the shepherd, takes the sheep of God out of Israel, out of Egypt, and announces that God is our shepherd. As we know that King David in Psalms says to God, when you are my shepherd, I am not lacking anything. And so we know that when we refer to God as our shepherd, we are his sheep.
I want to first of all thank you both for this authentic opportunity to invite our friends